Hi, Beaux Pilgrim here with Beaux Knows Insurance. Today we're going to talk about uninsured motorist insurance. Uninsured motorist is one of those terms that a lot of people just don't understand. They don't really get completely what it does for you. Well, I'm going to help break it down for you today so that you can understand and make an informed decision about whether you need to buy it or not, and also what limits you need to buy. So uninsured motorist coverage, what does it do for you? What is it? Do I need it or not? How much do I need to buy? All those questions, we're about to try to see if we can address those for you. So let's dive into it first, and let's talk about what it is and where you're going to find it. So first thing is, understand that this is a supplemental coverage that you can buy on your policy. You know, it's an addition to the standard other coverages that you may have. You know, you have liability, physical damage, comprehensive collision, other things like that, and then also uninsured motorist is another one of those things. Uninsured motorist is typically found as an option for any of those policies you would have for something that moves. So think about that. If it's a stationary, typically you won't find it there, but if it's something that you've got that moves, that is an optional coverage you can buy. What are some of those policies? Number one is going to be your auto policy. So on your auto policy, you could purchase uninsured motorist coverage. What about an ATV or four-wheeler or side-by-side? Yes, that policy you can buy uninsured motorist coverage. What about a motorcycle, a boat, a jet ski? What about a motorhome? All those policies you can buy uninsured motorist coverage, as well as also on your umbrella policy. Because remember, it's all the policies that give you protection for things that move. It's optional, you don't have to buy it, but it is a really good coverage, very broad coverage that can help you in a time of need. So what does it basically do? I'm going to give you kind of basically a definition of it to some degree, kind of a layman's term definition. Uninsured motorist is a liability coverage that takes care of medical bills, bodily injury, rehabilitation, and also property damage whenever there's a claim that happens and there's not other insurance to take care of those medical bills or property damage or whatever it is. So again, it's a coverage that you can buy that's going to take care of bills that you incur because of an accident that's not your fault and there's not other insurance or not enough insurance to take care of that. So let's give a couple examples that maybe help you to understand, because that's kind of a mouthful, right? Here's some different situations that it comes into play. So let's say that you've got your vehicle, you're involved in an auto accident. It's not your fault at all. It's the other people. The other people hit you. Well, they don't have insurance, or maybe they don't have enough insurance. Well, in those situations, your uninsured motorist can take care of your bodily injury, your medical bills, any prescriptions that you may have because of that injury. If you have some sort of surgery or you have rehabilitation because of that, it's going to take care of all of that for you. What about your vehicle? You know, if you have damage to it, it's going to take care of that too. It's going to take care of whatever the property damage is to your vehicle or whatever else that may have been damaged in that. What about another situation? So let's say you've got kids and your kids are off, you know, maybe they're in high school or something like that. They're off with some friends, and friends are, you know, going to a movie or something like that, or going to another friend's house, and they get hit. You know, they get T-boned in an accident at an intersection. They're completely in the right, but the other party was in the wrong and they hit them in the side. It causes damage to your child, to the other people that are in the vehicle. Well, since you have uninsured motorists on your policy, it's going to follow your child wherever they go and give them protection so that you can rest assured that their medical bills are going to get taken care of. They're going to get the care that they need to make sure that they can get fully recovered. It's going to follow them no matter where they go. It's going to make sure that they don't just have to be in your car. They don't even have to be in a car. They can be on a pedestrian on the street and get struck by a vehicle, and it will still take care of them. So it's a very robust, very great, you know, it's a very good coverage to take care of those different things. Well, you may say, okay, well, Beaux, I understand, yes, it sounds great, but I've got health insurance that should take care of it. Yes, you do, and that will take care of your medical bills. But typically we have large deductibles that may not fill in that gap. This can help fill in that gap. And what about other people that maybe are riding with you? Maybe you've got some of your kids' friends that maybe they don't have adequate health coverage. Well, this will help take care of them too. Or maybe a friend or whoever else that's maybe traveling with you or just riding with you in the car. This will help protect them also. Well, you may say also, well, everybody's supposed to have insurance, right? Everybody's supposed to have car insurance, and that's just a fact. Well, unfortunately, the fact is everybody does not have insurance. For whatever reason, a lot of people just do not have it. Maybe they can't afford it, maybe they just forgot. whatever the reason is. The fact is they just don't. You know, a lot of different states, you know, the statistics on how many people don't have it, you know, go all over the place. Inside of some of the states like Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Texas, you know, those numbers range anywhere from 10% up to 25% that do not have insurance. So think about that. Potentially, while you're driving along in your car and you look around, potentially one of the 4 cars does not have insurance. That's 25%. Maybe you're in a state or a region where it's more, you know, that number's not as significant, but it's going to be at least 10%. Across the United States, it is anywhere from 10 to 30% of the people do not have insurance. What happens in those situations if you get in an accident with one of those people and there's no insurance? Either one, you got to hope you've got some other insurance that's going to take care of that. 2, you got to file it underneath your collision coverage if there's vehicle damage, and that's going to count as a claim against you. Or 3, you got to pay for that out of pocket. That doesn't feel right, does it? You know, the thing is, you may say, well, I can sue them. Well, the reality is, if they're not carrying insurance, they probably don't have any assets that you can go against or ability to be able to take care of those bills. You're going to be on the hook for it. So this is a way that you can help ensure that that does not happen. Well, there's some other things you can think about too. Well, what about your own collision? Yes, you can file a claim like that underneath your own collision for the damage that happens to your vehicle. A couple things to think about. One of them is you're probably gonna have a higher deductible. Deductibles on collision typically are anywhere from $1,000 to $2,500 or even $5,000. Whereas on a uninsured motorist claim, it may be only $250 or $500. So it's a lower deductible. But another thing is, if you have a collision claim that you file underneath there, even though it's not your fault, you know, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's going to be a chargeable claim against your policy. And you're going to pay for that in increased rates over the next 3 to maybe 5 years. I know that doesn't feel right. That's just the system that we have. But I just want you to know and understand what can happen there. If you file that claim underneath uninsured motorist coverage because they don't have enough insurance to take care of you, well, that's not going to be a chargeable claim against you. And that's not going to affect your insurance rates like a collision claim would. So let's talk about the 2 different parts to uninsured motorists. There's BI and PD is what we usually say inside of the insurance world, but what those mean are BI stands for bodily injury. That's medical bills, prescription drugs, doctor visits, any sort of surgery, any sort of rehabilitation that you have to have. All those things fall underneath BI or bodily injury. The other part of it is property damage. You know, property damage is anything that is a tangible thing that gets damaged to it, not bodily injury, but property damage. Like, you know, it could be your house, a fence, it could be your car. All those different things fall underneath property damage. Maybe the contents you have in there, your cell phone, laptop, you know, maybe you've got a bunch of groceries in the trunk of your car that get destroyed because of an accident. All that stuff is covered underneath property damage. You know, you buy these 2 coverages, you have to buy bodily injury first, then you can add on property damage. It's kind of like in stages there. They're pretty inexpensive though, typically to purchase and to add onto your policy. It's simply, just, you know, all you got to do is just call your agent and just ask them how much it would cost to add that. So while you're thinking about that, let's think about the limits that you buy. You know, you can buy the same limits as what you have on your liability insurance for your personal auto, or you can buy lower limits. It's really up to you. The cost between the 2 typically is not very much. I usually just suggest you get the same limits. That way there's no question about, you know, having enough limits there to make sure that you get covered adequately, because the fact is you don't know. You don't know what the accident's going to be like. You know, use the same logic in determining your uninsured motorist liability limits that you use to determine how much liability coverage that you bought. It's about protecting yourself, protecting your assets, and making sure that you don't have some sort of a claim that's going to cause you, you know, financial distress, if not financial ruin. So I hope this helps you to understand a little bit more about uninsured motorist coverage. You know, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please make sure that you click that button to subscribe. Click that little notification bell also, so that every time we post a new video, you're the first one to know about it. Every Thursday, I'm going to post a new video to help you to understand more about insurance so you can make informed decisions on your own about your insurance that you buy, rather than relying on some salesperson to tell you what you need. You deserve that. You know, you deserve to know what is the right thing for you. Be sure to comment, like the video, tell me what you thought about it. If there's a topic that you want to hear about, let me know in the notes. I'd be glad to tell you more about it. Also, click up here, you can see a link to our website that you can learn more about us. And then also Look, if you've got a question, please post it in the comments. You know, the comments down below, make sure that you post it down there. That way I can address it. And if I see there's a video I need to make because of the question you got, hey, I'd be glad to do that for you to help you to understand more about, you know, your insurance so you can make informed decisions. Thanks for checking us out. I appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.